Hello and welcome back, everyone. My name is Vincent Culliver. I'm with Outdoor Outreach, former participant, current field instructor, and leadership program graduate. For those of you that are new here, Outdoor Outreach is a San Diego-based youth development nonprofit that connects youth to the outdoors as a space for them to build resilience and confidence in their power to make a difference. Today, I have the honor and pleasure of introducing our guest, Ryan Hudson. Ryan was a mentor while I was a participant at Outdoor Outreach, and he helped me step out of my comfort zone and reach my goals in the outdoors and the community. He continues to help guide me and is such a beacon of light for myself and many others. Ryan started snowboarding with Outdoor Outreach in 2005 and went on to compete in the North Face Masters of Snowboarding and the Freeride World Tour, and is now a professional freeride snowboarder with a slew of sponsors, including Patagonia, Smith, Discreet Clothing, Jones Snowboards, Vans, Kara Karam, Splitboard Bindings, and a few more, I'm sure. Ryan has recently partnered with Outdoor Outreach in a big way to be a mentor for our youth. We'll do a few quick introductions before we jump in our Q&A with you, Ryan. So I'd like to pass it to you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, word. What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Hudson. As Vincent said, I'm a professional snowboarder. I'm currently based in Salt Lake City and born and raised in San Diego. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see your face. Good to see your face.
Yeah, you too, brother.
So let's kick it off. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the outdoors and specifically snowboarding?
Word. Man, it like goes way back, but the outdoors is a pretty special place for myself, and it kind of always has been. As a kid, I was kind of always outside too, just like skateboarding, playing in the dirt, things like that. But not until not until I met Chris and got involved with Outdoor Outreach did I really know what nature really was. So when I was 14, I was living in the Tucson Academy in downtown San Diego. It's a group home / shelter for at-risk teens, mostly runaways, homeless, some kid there through the juvenile system, things like that. I just remember one year Chris came into the program and wanted to take a bunch of kids up snowboarding up to Big Bear. And I remember wanting to go so bad, but being so terrible at school that I didn't have good enough grades. So my teacher at the time, Jeff, gave me a cool opportunity to like make up like 30 missing assignments so I can go on this snowboarding trip. And, I busted my butt, made it happen. And that's history.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, dude. All right, so question number 2. Can you tell us about the first time? You just answered that question. So,
of course,
what's the best snowboarding experience you've had?
The best snowboarding experience I've had, dude, definitely like the first day. I think I was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, and I just remember that trip up to Big Bear with Outdoor Outreach was my first time ever seeing snow, my first time ever being like outside of the city and up in mountains, like first time I'd ever smelled like not city air, and it changed my life. I just remember being on the mountain, and after our initial lessons, Chris, and it was funny because Chris is a skier, so he's like teaching a bunch of kids how to snowboard, but he's like on skis. So it was like funny and kind of awkward, but had a great day, man. And I remember just like falling in love with it instantly, like the second I strapped in, and like Chris kind of helped me stand up and like started pushing me to like get me going. I like in that moment knew that was like something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I think, skateboarding, obviously I have a little bias because skateboarding had always been in my life, but snowboarding was a totally different experience, like a completely different beast, like a completely different, energy that I'd never felt before. And I just immediately fell in love with it, man. And I'll always hold that moment, that day of just like standing on the peak and like looking out on the horizon and just seeing like the world for the first time from that view. It changed my perspective of my reality. Changed the way I see the world, and changed everything that I believed. And so I'm gonna hold on to that forever. So yeah, definitely that first day.
That's huge, man. And I can remember my first time as well, and had some similar reactions and
Yeah.
epiphanies, if you will. All right. So, what about the scariest or most memorable?
Scariest, most memorable. Um, every day is a little scary. You got to scare yourself a little bit every day in order to progress. Whether you're falling or riding a line that it's a little dangerous, or snow conditions are a little hairy. Fear plays a really big role in your confidence. So without one, you can't really have the other. So it's good to embrace that. But in terms of just having a terrifying day, um, I would say when in 2013 I had a really rad opportunity to climb Mount McKinley, which is Denali. If anyone isn't familiar, it's the tallest mountain in North America. It sits at 20,320 feet. And at the time, I was uh, riding for the North Face, and I met Conrad Anker, who I'm sure people know is one of the most prolific alpinists to like ever grace the planet. The man has scaled numerous amounts of first ascents. Um, I think he's still the only person to climb Everest without oxygen like 7 times or something like that. I'm not couple, maybe like 3 or 4 times, something crazy like that. The guy is insane. But he's my time with at the North Face. He became like a really cool mentor to me, and had very few physical interactions. But I just remember one day, like it's actually like the second time I think we ever met. We're at the Outdoor Retailer show, and he just comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, like, good to see you. I'm trying to put a team together to go do this trip. We want to go do this thing. Like, you should really come with us." He's like, "I'll get in touch with you in a couple of weeks." And I'm just like, "Okay, like, yeah, that's cool. I'll go snowboard and do something with you guys." And so I just remember like getting an email like 3 weeks later, and it's like Denali expedition team, and there's like 13 of us. I just remember that trip, man, being like every day I woke up, just there's like a certain section of my head in my brain where I had to store the information of knowing that at any moment I could fall into a crevasse, or like, this mountain could eat me, like swallow me whole at any point in time. And I just remember every day, like whether you're like crossing like 4 foot, 5 foot, crevasses with like, a little on like a 1 foot snow bridge, you're like looking down into this crevasse and it's just blackness forever. Things like that, man. Those every day on that mountain was pretty terrifying, but also one of the greatest experiences of my life. So, yeah.
Sounds awesome. And you've told me that story before, and it still gives me chills. I can imagine.
It was a trip, man.
One day
Crazy time. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna take you. Let's go.
Yeah. I think one of my scariest moments snowboarding was hopping off the tram at the top of Snowbird, and you strap in, I strap in. I hear the last thing you say to me. It's like socked in. You say, "Follow me."
I remember that day. It was pretty wide out.
Yeah.
But you kept up though. You kept up. We had a good day.
Right on. All right. So question number 4. Let's see. What do you see as the most important reason for introducing youth to the outdoor spaces?
What do I see as the most important reason for getting youth in the outdoors? For that reason alone, man, getting youth in the outdoors. Why not? There's so much that nature provides that, when you're confined to these small spaces, especially in times like these when we're all scared of a virus, everyone's locked indoors. I think right now, I'm pretty sure that all of us and probably everyone is really grateful for nature. And then, we are all starting to appreciate it, more than ever now that we have to stay inside so much. Um, for there's every reason possible, man. The future, the future needs it. We need these spaces to be protected. And in order for things to be protected, you only protect what you love, and you can't love something that you don't associate with. So it's really important that we try to educate as many people as we can. Try to introduce as many youth as we can to nature, and as well as raising awareness for adults. We need adults to appreciate nature and as well, and getting them in the outdoors so that they can pass that on to their kids. A lot of these things, a lot of things in a lot of the non-traditional things in like our society, like being in the outdoors, rock climbing, surfing, things like that. Those alternative hobbies. Um, it really the only way that people really learn about them is through inheritance. A lot of times, like we're here in Salt Lake. All of my friends that grew up skiing, they only started because their parents did it. And a lot of people will only go out in nature because their parents take them, and or people introduce them to them. So a lot of times these kids aren't finding these spaces on their own, and it just takes a little bit of awareness and education, and as well as the initiative to get off your butt and go do something. um, that we need a lot more of that. So here we are trying to make it happen.
Phew. Great answer, man. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hmm.
All right. Question number 5. How do you define good leadership?
uh, how to find good leadership, man. um, I think everyone has, like, I think there's a slight misconception about what it takes to be a leader. Being a leader, it doesn't mean that you're that person standing on the soapbox with the microphone screaming, for screaming about what's right and wrong. I think a lot of times, it just takes your own inspiration. Like, it takes you being inspired to get up and do something for yourself and for your community. Whether that's creating tangible initiatives, things that people can actively get up and participate in, whether that's like a community garden or a beach cleanup, things like that. um, or if it's just your own personal self-education, where you're doing the research at home, reading articles, books, learning how to protect nature, uh, learning, definitely, especially now, learning how to vote and what to vote for, especially with climate being a huge issue in the outdoors right now. We're trying to fight climate change, and we're trying to lobby for the right policies and things to protect our future and protect our public spaces. And it takes you as an individual to learn about things and be vocal about things. And you don't have to be the person saving the world and being on TV as the face of a movement. But it takes each and every one of us as individuals to educate ourselves, as well as sharing what we love with the people in our lives. Um, that's introducing your siblings to nature, or someone random, teaching someone about something that you love and are passionate about, and making that your purpose, and showing that, educating other people and teaching that to other people and getting them excited about it. We need more of that.
All right. So this next question might hurt a little bit. It was submitted last minute. Why is it Vincent always seems to beat you at the game of skate? All right. You don't have to respond to that one.
Jokes. He got jokes. He got jokes now. He got jokes.
All right. So last question, Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts for young people who want to make a difference in their community but don't know where to start?
Who want to make a difference but don't know where to start? Um, Listen to Michael, man. Start with the man in the mirror. Um, it all takes especially right now in these times when we're faced with so many different challenges, from the greatest civil rights movement in our history that we're currently living in. I think we're in pretty important times right now, and I don't think that everyone realizes that. And I think we need to, you know, really take a step back and really look at what's going on around us and educate ourselves. I can't stress it enough. It's just awareness. You know, be aware to, you know, the world around you, to things going on, and, you know, be active in your community. Be a voice for your people, whether that's on a small scale or large scale, whatever you're willing to stand for. You know, that's what it's going to take. I think all of us have to really, you know, look internally and reflect on who we are and what we want out of life and what we need out of life, and you know, start working towards that. And all we can really do, support each other, love each other, and you know, get involved with, you know, movements and things that things near you, things that you can be a, be a voice for, whether that's getting up and voting if you're of age. You know, get out there and vote. Learn learn all the ins and outs of that, because it is a pretty complicated thing. But when you educate yourself and know what you're going in there to do, you know, you can do some pretty great things, as one person. So don't think that you're alone. Um, we're all trying to to grow and learn and get by, and, you know, get to the end of this thing on a positive note, and, you know, live happy, peaceful lives. And I think it's going to take a lot of us, all of us, really standing up and doing things as individuals and making changes internally first.
Right on, man. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you. It's an honor.
Yeah,
to know,
thank you.
and thank you for all your heartfelt and detailed responses.
Of course.
Well put. So once
Word.
again, thank you to everybody at home watching and tuning in. Ryan, you got a lot of love in the comments, man. Everyone's stoked to see you on here.
Love you guys, man.
Got a shout out for the old school logo.
The old OG, baby. First edition. Love you guys, man. Appreciate everything that you guys are doing. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. We got some cool stuff planned for next winter, and hopefully a summer program as well. So I can't wait for this relationship to grow stronger. Let's do it.
Likewise, man. You. Thanks,
Later.
Ryan. And thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Later.